Curt Flood, twice a world champion. 7 times a Gold Glove as Major League Baseball's premier center fielder. From the beginning of the game's professional life, baseball contracts have given the owners of ball clubs exclusive and literal control over the professional life of players. Exempted from antitrust laws, the national pastime was long run by owners determined to maintain that control. Racial politics simply extended that control. During the 1960s, Curt Flood is one of the top salaried players in Major League Baseball. But many things in the game are troubling to him. One thing in particular.
You have to understand the baseball players at that time. We thought getting $20,000 a year was a fair share of this incredible amount of revenue that's being made in baseball. I knew that the reserve clause in my contract was illegal, and I thought that I was the one to make the difference in our contracts. Legally, a contract must have a beginning and an end. But the reserve clause perpetuated this year after year, even though you only had a 1-year contract. That clause in your contract perpetuated it until you died. As a matter of fact, if they resurrected Babe Ruth, the Yankees would still own him. That's how ironclad that clause in the contract was.
And instead decides to sue baseball for the right to negotiate the terms of his professional life.
I came here to New York and I spoke with Marvin Miller, who was the executive director of the Players Association at the time. And he said, Curt, I want you to go back to California, and I want you to think about what you're getting yourself in for, because this is going to be a fight to the finish, if in fact that's what you want. And I guess there's something about suing the kind of people that own baseball teams that's kind of frightening. These are really powerful men. Not only do they own baseball teams, but they own everything else in this hemisphere.
Flood's case eventually reaches the United States Supreme Court, where he's represented by Arthur Goldberg.
He's owned by the team that first employed him or the team to which that team sells him.
Realistically, this is what we were arguing. Should one person be able to own another person for his entire life? Well, Abraham Lincoln solved that problem for us, didn't he? And as a matter of fact, this is what the Supreme Court ruled. Yes, Mr. Flood, they said, you're absolutely right. One person should not be able to own another person, be it a baseball player or whatever. I did play in 3 World Series, and I won the Golden Glove Award 7 times, and that is not easy when you play the same position as Willie Mays. I hope they remember some of the great things, the great times that we had. I played on some fine teams with some fine young men, and more than the Supreme Court decision, I hope they remember that I gave 100% all the time.